Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Aaron Davis, aka Mr. You Know. You are watching the Barber Game Podcast. Tune in.
Welcome to the Barber Game Podcast. I go by the name of DJ Meek Chops.
Hey, people, this is Smith.
What it do? This is Marcus.
This is the
Barber Game Podcast.
Well, let's get right into it. This week's episode, we got a very, very special guest. My guy came all the way from up top, Mr. Aaron Davis. He's a podcaster, barber, social media content creator. This guy right here is very, very, very important. We appreciate that.
Appreciate you guys, man.
Hey, man, go ahead and give the YouTube University the Marvel backstory on Aaron Davis, man.
I'd say it all kind of started back in like middle school. You know, I grew up in Mill Creek, suburbs. Had a big diversity of friends.
Yep.
Hanging out with blacks, white, Mexican, islanders. Just living at the trailer park. Only trailer park in Mill Creek. White boy,
Yeah.
And so I was just trying to fit in somehow, and kind of found my group of friends and realized it was big diversity. So I kind of fell in love with hip hop. The just the elements of it, and started hanging out with one of my homies, Roman, and his stepdad was a barber.
Okay.
He owned Legends Barbershop. You bet maybe heard of him. He was out in Everett a long time ago.
In Everett.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't grow up here, so I don't be knowing about that. But
I heard about Legends.
He was just like a one-man shop, really.
Okay.
And he would cut all our hair, and back then I was doodling, drawing, and all that. So I was always been creative, and he stopped cutting our hair for free.
Started charging.
Yeah, he started charging.
Well, you guys got older.
Yeah, exactly.
Started actually demanding. It's probably like
exactly. And so so I think going into high school, that's when he started charging us, maybe a little bit after. And I was like, shit, I can't afford this. And so I was like, man, I could draw a straight line, so I could probably cut one.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
right,
I was
right,
like, so I'd do like the 2 all the way around, or the 3 or 4 or a 1, and just line people up for probably about 2-3 years. I was just doing that and like doing some designs, trying some different stuff out.
Do you remember what kind of clippers you had?
Don't, bro.
Probably
some Walgreens walls or something. Those cheap ass ones, I think actually I had the peanuts
to line up.
Yeah, the peanuts.
I think a lot of people was doing that. Do you remember that? A lot of people was doing that.
Peanuts, yeah.
Yeah, the
Peanuts.
little short, little clipper.
White
they were going hard though.
The white ones.
Yeah,
They
Great
do go
for
hard.
kids.
yeah,
They're good for behind the ears too.
yeah.
And the beard, the little
In the corner, right here in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I started that, and then I was doing that through high school, and then came into senior year. I was actually dancing too. I was like break dancing, doing hip hop. So I had a little group.
What? You was pop locking?
Oh yeah, I get down, bro.
What? Okay.
I don't know about Puff Daddy getting down now. I would get down, and I was actually really trying to like take dancing far. Like that was like my
passion.
mission, my passion. I was really trying to go far with dancing. But senior year, I had to do a project on how to
Senior project?
Yeah, senior project, and I wanted to do it on dancing. But they're like, hey, you know too much about that. Like, we're not going to let you do that.
Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need more of a
And
challenge.
so I'm like, what's the next easiest thing? All right, I'm cutting hair, so I had to become a barber. And I had Vince, he was right there. So my mentor, he could write off my hours quick.
Yep.
So I was like, fuck it. And then, sorry.
It's
No
all
worries.
good. It's all good.
All right.
It's all good.
But, yeah, man, I just started cutting people up at the school. And the teachers they were cool with it, bro. After school, I would go into the bathroom, cut people up, line them up. And then, after school, we'd have a break club. So I'd be like, hey, meet me after school. And I'd have line, bro.
I love it, man, because you see these guys now doing it now. You see these doing it, and you was already back there doing it.
Yeah.
That's fire. That's dope.
You know, and so like, I think that was like just like, okay, I'm just gonna get a little couple bucks, dude. I was like doing $3 lineups, $5 haircuts.
Yeah.
You know, just getting a little something. And so after high school, you know, I didn't really know. I knew I wanted to be, you know, really pursue dancing, but had a lot to grow. Had to figure out some stuff, and so I was still cutting hair throughout the years. And I remember going to Chop It Up, seeing Wood and Nick back in the day before I was licensed. You know, asking Nick like, "Yo, where do I go?
Yeah,
How do
what
I
do I
get
do?"
started?" You know,
Yeah.
because I didn't really have the direction. You know what I mean? I didn't know how to get going. I didn't have the money, the funds. I didn't know about financial aid. I graduated, but I didn't have no idea that you can get a little bit of help and
Grants
stuff.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had no idea. And so after 7, 8 years of cutting unlicensed, I was going through like a baby mama drama with my first child. And, you know, I wasn't able to see my kid. And she was like just making me go through the loops, bro. It was a real hard time in my life.
Are you working in conjunction with cutting out the garage? Or
Oh,
you
bro, I was hustling.
So you
bro.
hustling, yeah.
I was pushing art,
Yep.
pushing a little bit of something else.
Yep,
You know, I was
yep,
pushing
yep.
haircuts.
Yep.
And and there was one day she's like, "Your haircuts will never be shit." And literally the next day I went and just check out schools. And that the first school I went to, I ended up signing up to Peroba.
Peroba. Yep.
Yeah, and you know, it's kind of crazy, bro, because like I think back, like looking at it now, I'm like, what if she never said that to me?
Right.
Where would I be? You know, if I would have ever took that, you know, that extra step to go check out schools, you know? So I'm like, I'm super.
Sometimes those punches push you in the right direction.
Yeah, for sure, bro. It was important, you know?
So she motivated you.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, it was kind of like a slap in the face because, you know, you think like your son's moms, you know, should be the one pushing you,
Yeah,
but
supporting you more on a positive
Yeah.
note versus negative.
yeah.
Does
Coming at
she
you.
know? Does she motivated you? Well, she does now.
You will now. Yeah.
You know, I think she knows that it was a push.
Mm-hmm.
You know, me and her still have like a love-hate relationship. I love her because she's my son's mom, but I got a lot of envy. You know, really envious of her because of the shit that I have to go through to be a father. But it also
Yes.
it built me too as a father and a human. You know what I mean? Turned me to a savage, really. So I'm grateful for that. But you know, like I said, you know, went to school, and actually before that, you know, I would be cutting out of the house, and my dad would be like, "Man, you need to go get a real job." And
Dang, so
you know,
he's telling
so
you.
I had like a couple different people in my corner that wasn't really in my corner.
Right.
Yeah, not
You know what I
supportive.
mean? Yeah, you know. But my he's an iron worker, construction, you know what I mean? And that's my whole family.
Yeah.
So for him to be like, have a son, be like, this guy want to cut hair? What the?
Right.
Yeah, people don't usually see the potential of being a barber. They don't look at it
Yeah.
as a career-based
No.
mindset. They kind of shun on it a little bit.
I think anything in the service industry is not considered work.
Yeah. a
In
job.
there.
It is, though.
It is.
It is.
A lot of work.
Yeah.
It's gotten better though.
People are more open to it.
More open
right.
than
Yeah.
like you know 7-10 years ago. It's gotten a
Yeah.
little better.
It's funny though, like I feel like with almost all industries, our era or this generation now is like creators. Like, imagine telling somebody like 10 years ago, "I'm gonna be a rapper." Like,
Right.
this dude right here, like,
Right.
kidding me? You know what I mean? But now it's like, I
Maybe.
guess I gotta support that.
Yeah,
right?
Do it, yeah.
there's more. There are more avenues for people to get into music than what it used to be. You know,
Yeah.
you used to have to knock down at record companies' doors with your mixtapes or whatever. Now you can just put your stuff out
Yeah.
and push it yourself.
Yeah.
There's more access to that.
Yeah.
You know.
But yeah, you know, got into school. I actually signed up to be a barber. I was gonna start a week after But the day before I was like, hey, I've already been cutting hair for 7 years. I got the gist of it, so I'm gonna do the whole cosmetology program.
Oh, okay.
So I signed up to be a Cosmo. I remember walking in, they're like, hey, this is Aaron Davis. He's our new Cosmo. And all the dudes were like, what the
Laughing and shit.
Yeah, like what?
Jokes.
Like, is he gay? Is he gay? Like,
Yeah. That's the thing that's nice about that.
you know
Did
what I mean?
that school have a barbering program?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it had the Esto, the Barber, and the
Okay.
Cosmo.
Okay.
But I was like, man, why limit myself?
Right.
Not saying like, being a barber is, but I've already been cutting for so long. I'm like, man, fuck, I'm just gonna do it all,
Right.
So I did that, and at that time I moved in with my newer baby mama. Shout out to her. She actually, big shout out to her. She actually, gave me a place to stay for the time being in school. She paid for my court shit to take my other son's mom to court to get my rights as a father. She did a lot for me, so that was super big
dope.
and help. Yeah,
That's dope.
that was really big and helpful and meant a lot, and like then I started seeing the support around me, and then graduated. Right before I graduated,
What year?
2016.
That's what's up.
Yeah. And I think that was the first time I was like, holy shit, I'm like super proud of myself. You know what I mean? Like,
Accomplishing goals.
yeah, man. And I made a lot of goals in school. Like, I didn't want to miss any days of school. So 9 months, I was perfect attendance. I got the little gold stars, and like, I was just like, man, if I'm going to do this, I need to be all in and really take it serious, and like, it's so hard to be motivated in barber school, beauty school. You're there 10.5-hour days.
Yeah.
Yeah, no money.
No money.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
no
like
money.
a $2 tip here and there.
Yeah, and then I'm, stuck around, you'd think it'd be dope, stuck around a bunch of women, but it's like, holy, I can't win. No offense. It's hard. They'd be like, Aaron, what do you think about this? I would say my opinion. No, shut up.
They want it, but they really don't.
Yeah.
They don't want it.
It's not that. It's called picking your brain and then
There
going
you go.
with
I like that.
yeah.
In school, I think school, what it does now is, looking back, it gives you a structure. And I think that's very important for anybody, like being on time, being there, people skills, knowing how to work with people,
Right.
and so like now I try to, install that into my kid's brain, especially my 9-year-old. He's at that age where he don't want to be at school and blah, blah, blah. I'm just like,
Yeah, they
listen,
want to
man,
be at school
nobody
for all
wants
the wrong reasons.
Nobody wants to be there, but it's going to structure you. And graduated. Right before graduation, I had the owner of the shop that I'm at now. He came actually and scouted me out, and he heard about me and came to this to my school and just asked my vision. And I told him what I wanted to do, and told him I was like, man, I'm just really trying to like really do big things in the beauty industry and compete and do showcasing and inspire others and teach others. I've always been very competitive, but in just not like saying like I'm the best. It's more about with myself. I want to be better than the day before. And push my limits to the test really. And he was all about it. So I got up in his shop, started working. Luckily, I had a good clientele, so it was steady. I was making good money. But then, like the first month or two, I was like, man, I'm making some good money.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, this is
Compared
great.
to like
Yeah,
what
go
you thought.
Yeah,
exactly,
no, I was
yeah.
like, I was all showing it off on my Instagram, trying to flex a little bit, and I realized I'm like, oh man, I'm being corny as hell.
Well,
I'm broke. That's
drawing
what
some
broke.
attention to yourself.
Exactly. I mean, now I'm like, okay, that's what broke people need to be doing. But I think all the whole mission of learning and growing as a human is important, and having to go through that type of situation and realizing like, all right, I don't need to be doing all that flossing off. So yeah, man, I got into John Lorenz out in Everett. We had a good team, bro. We had some solid cats. We had Nick Watts, Jonathan Gonzalez, Eric, Chris Cruz. Then we had a couple Prentice, Brendan Spears, Brian Moore, and then Aaron Poliato. And I love them all, bro. Love them all. You know, it's pretty dope. I've had some great things in that shop come through, and you know, my brother got saved in that shop. You know, he was going down a rough patch in his life, you know, drugs and addiction. One day he came walking through, and the crazy thing, Jonathan didn't even talk to me for like a year. Like, he wouldn't even talk to me in the shop. And one day my brother came walking through. He's like, hey, bro, I don't know who that is, but I need to pray for him right now. I'm like, why you say that? And I knew he was going through what he was going through, but Jonathan didn't.
John G.
Yeah. Yeah. So him and Eric took him outside, prayed for him, and ever since that day, he's been sober. 7 years, or 6-7 years.
Oh, good
I was like,
That's
that's
dope.
crazy, bro.
That's dope.
Yeah.
You know, so that was a beautiful thing, bro.
Shout out to John G too, man. He came a long way. I remember.
That boy's a savage.
You remember Jonathan? No.
I need to see
Yeah.
a picture.
Yeah. Avery.
He's one of the best barbers I personally know, like working with, and he's good.
He worked in Linwood for a little bit, actually.
I heard he's worked everywhere. Heard he worked for Steffo.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
yeah,
John G?
yeah.
He used to come to Woodville?
Yeah.
Shout out to you, man. That's my guy.
No, he's a beast.
Yeah,
Flawless haircuts.
yeah.
Yeah.
We got to get him on the show, man.
He's
Yeah,
out in
man.
Eastern
Yeah,
now.
Yakima, right?
Yakima, yeah. Or Tri-Cities.
It'll slide eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We'll work our way.
He's more to himself, man. You got to get him out of the box a little bit.
No, we'll work on it. We'll work
Yeah,
on
we
it.
got Mess can get that done.
Yeah.
Why?
That's a like being
Put on the spot. She don't like
It's all good.
Yeah, because when I put you on the spot, it's going to be a problem, and you guys going to cry.
Here we go.
Okay, continue. Then I'm going to get a talking to, so continue.
Yeah, wow.
Gee,
I love it.
the tension.
Hey, if it's not toxic, there ain't no passion in it, bro.
I don't think toxic is the word. But go ahead, continue.
Okay. So you got your good solid team with you. Mm-hmm. You there at John Lorenz, and that's where you stayed at? That's where you still at?
Yeah. So I'm there too, but like the name changed. We got new owners. Eric ended up selling the shop to Nick and James, so it's called the Good Wolf now.
The Good Wolf. Okay.
Yeah.
I did hear about that, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up.
What does that mean, the good wolf?
I guess it's like a native story or something.
Okay.
Yeah,
I just
kinda
kinda-
figured that when
I
they
kinda-
put wolf in there.
You feed the good wolf, or that's what you get out of it. I don't.
Okay.
I was just like, whatever, cool. I'm just.
Is it themed? Is it there's like stuff?
No, it's just, I think, black and gold, silver, just color wise.
Okay.
You know, they're still tweaking some stuff, you know, and they're still going through their first owners, and I'm just going with the flow with them, man. I love them, so, you know, I just follow their steps, you know, and there's been a lot of button heads, but at the end of the day, it's like, man, I'm with those guys more than my family,
Yeah.
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
So it's like,
How long has it been since they took over?
about a year.
A year? Okay. Okay. Growing pains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but you know, they put some love into the shop, and I appreciate that. You know, when people want to invest into the shop, you know, get some updated stuff, like that shows that you care. You know, I think that's where we were lacking with the owner a little bit prior, is that, you know, everything was kind of ran down a little bit.
Was he not in the shop? Was it a disconnect there? Like he wasn't?
So he was there, but he found a love for preaching and for the Lord, which I respect, you know. But it was also like, it was hard, bro.
It
Like,
wasn't prioritized.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, it was hard. Like, he would bring that into the shop too. Some clients didn't like it.
Right.
Some people did like it.
Right.
You know, so he ended up moving to Texas. You know, and you know, I love Eric, bro. I love him. You know, he's a hard head and a hustler and a good man. So like, me and him butt heads too. And I learned a lot from Eric too. Learned a lot from him. and just how he ran the shop, things I do want to do, things I don't want to do.
Right.
You know.
So you learned a lot from him.
Yeah.
So what's your social media presence like?
I'm active, bro. I'm always trying to create something. I think my social media is like my second job. Really.
Yeah.
That's fire.
You
That's
know,
dope, man.
You
I
put
got
a lot of time into it.
bro, I got so much money invested into my videography, traveling, my brand, and it's like, it's kind of funny you asked that because like 2-3 weeks ago I had a client. He's like, "How do you feel about like all the money and stuff you invested in traveling, competing, and your videography, your brand?" I'm like, honestly, bro, if I could go back, I probably wouldn't have did it as much, but it's like I don't regret it because I really betted on myself.
Yeah, that's what
And
you do at the end of the day.
I betted on myself, and like I was like, man, I'm going all in, you know. And I think that's the difference between me and other barbers is I looked at the barber industry as building an image and a brand, and so that's what I try to own up to and like create, and and that's really what I got into competing. Like I was like trying to really get known as being a good barber and, you know, inspire other people and like to compete and build this image and this brand. And I knew like, hey, if I really want to be known in this industry, I got to do the things that a lot of barbers aren't doing, you know, and get out there and show face, shake hands, and explore, man. And it's been a blessing, bro. I've met a lot of dope people, been to amazing places. I think the first situation that I got from social media was this salon in Quebec. They reached out to me. And they're like, "Hey, do you teach?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've gone to schools and, you know, taught in the local salons and stuff." This was before any competition. And I was like, they're like, "Hey, if you ever want to fly out here," I didn't even know where Quebec was.
Yeah,
I thought it was like Vancouver.
No.
Yeah.
Man.
No.
And they're like, "We'll fly you out here for like 2 months straight." We're talking back and forth. And I just started thinking it was like a fake page.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Hey, send us your info. We'll buy your ticket right now." Sent it. 15 minutes later, got my ding on my email. Look at the ticket. It was like $870 something. I was like,
Where the hell am I going?
Yeah, I'm like, where the hell am I going? And this is like a week, or they bought it like in a week's advance.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit. So I thought I'm just going to Vancouver or something. No, I looked that up. I'm like, oh boy, you
Yeah,
know,
deep.
I'm like, deep.
Yeah.
So you went and you have
So I went, man, they treated me nice, bro. Took me out to nice dinners. I was there for 5 days, paid my Airbnb. Went in the salon, did 3 haircuts one day. Was there for probably like 5 hours. Had all these drinks lined up for me. Like, pick whatever. They paid me, I think it was like $500 or $800 for that too. I forgot. And then came back home and I was like, bro, if I can do that and get this situation, like stuff like that.
How long ago was that?
That was like 5 years ago.
I'm trying to accumulate the inflation on it. That's why.
Yeah,
Like,
bro. That was like my first big gig, like in
Did you take
off.
a lot of pictures and videos of
Yeah, I got a whole video of it, bro.
Okay.
Yeah,
dope.
time lapse and everything. It's pretty tight. That was like my first gig. That was like, okay, I could really do this, and like build off of this. You know what I mean? So ever since that, I got into competing. First 2 or 3 competitions I've lost, and then after that, I just started. I was learning, bro. I was like looking at what I could have done better. Started winning,
Yeah.
you know.
And that was all local? Did you go anywhere? Did you go out of state for those too?
So yeah, so I started local, and the first few were all local events. And then I started hitting states.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I've taken first place out here, Oregon, California, Las Vegas. Where else? A couple other spots.
That's fire though. That's dope.
Yeah. No, bro, like I've met so many dope people, and like it's cool going to these competitions because you're in a room full of people that share the same passion as you. You know, so it's like it's a beautiful thing, bro. It's a real beautiful thing, and like I said, bro, getting to competing was never to be like, oh, I'm the best barber. I'm better than you. It was just more like I needed to get out of my comfort zone. I needed to get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Right.
You know, and that helped me being faster, more precise, a better artist.
Doing designs too, right? That's and you taking home trophy first place.
Yeah.
On all of these.
Yeah. That's kind of my niche is the designs.
That's fire. How do you? How did that turn out for you? You was taking those. I heard a couple stories.
What stories?
Taking them first place trophies back to your shop, your home shop.
Oh, yikes. Oh, okay. Yeah, you know, it sucked, bro, because the owner of the shop, he saw my vision before I even created it. And then when I first got my first trophy, I put it on my station and I was all proud of it. You know, I was like, hell yeah, man. It was kind of like manifesting what I pictured, you know? So it was like, it meant a lot to me. And so I was like, hey, you mind if I go buy a trophy case?
Oh my God.
And I just had one little trophy. He was like,
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, man, sure, go ahead. So I literally that day, I was already looking for one on OfferUp. So I was already in the mix, had it
Well,
all
it's
planned out.
motivational though. It's motivational for you to get a trophy case.
Yeah.
With the
You need to fill
mindset that you're gonna fill it up.
Fill it up.
Yeah.
And the next day I brought it in and he wasn't happy.
Are you serious?
He was like, bro, I didn't think you were serious. I'm like, bro, I've been here for a year and a half, 2 years. Everything, if I say I'm going to do something, it's 98% I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Like, that's just how I am. That 2%, it's like maybe like something happened. You know what I mean? Like something important or something. I'm like, no, bro, like, what do you mean? You told me I could bring this in. So I set it all up and just put the little trophy.
Was it like obnoxious looking, or was he just?
It's the square case,
Okay.
tall square
Yeah.
case. It's not super big, you know.
Yeah.
Honestly, probably as big as that chessboard.
Okay.
Oh, that ain't bad.
Yeah, it's not super, but just tall.
Yeah.
Oh.
And you know, he was like, "Hey, bro."
Was it? Wait, the one trophy was that tall?
No, the trophy case.
The case. Where's
The
the how big
trophy.
is the trophy?
Probably as big as that bottle. Hey, big dreams turn to big things, baby.
Hey, bro, what are you
Like-
doing? You serious?
That would be hilarious.
Oh, it was funny. But like in my mind, I'm like, man, hey, you know, you put a goldfish in the tank, is it grows bigger the bigger the tank.
Yeah, that's true. That's
You
true.
know,
That's true.
and so
So he just underestimated you. He didn't expect you to follow through
yeah,
so soon.
yeah, so soon, and I think he had like me bringing it in, kind of like, okay, well, I don't think it's not fair to the other barbers.
He didn't let it slide, nothing. So he just
No.
addressed it right out the gate.
Yeah,
And then one trophy turns into how many more trophies?
I think I got like 30 something.
30. Yo.
I got belts. I got
Wow.
actually, yeah. Yeah, man.
And now you just got it all over here.
It's in my house, just chilling.
Oh,
I don't even look
took
at
it
it.
out?
Yeah.
You won't let you bring any of it to the
So,
shop.
so me and him end up having like this whole debate, you know, and I'm like, bro, how you want me to represent your shop, but you can't represent my accomplishments, you know?
Right.
like-
Yeah.
Right.
and so I took it to heart, man. I was really upset, you know. I was in my feelings about it.
It seemed like he was kind of like lightweight jealous or something a little
He was
bit.
In a way.
projecting.
In a way, like, you know.
Not in a way, he was.
Yeah, but you know the thing is the trophies didn't even have my name on it, so I was like, bro, we could put it
But still, it's
in the
like,
middle of the shop. Or,
But you part of
And-
the team though. Like you shining is making him shine.
Exactly.
Because you there with him. You
and that's
feel
how everybody looked at it.
I think in hindsight, he probably realized it now. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? 'Cause that was some
Yeah,
years
for
ago,
sure.
right?
Yeah,
That was some years ago.
And
Probably-
and that's the thing is, I ended up leaving the shop for like 3 months, and I created a nice ass spot in my house. I put my trophies, my barber chair. I was like, I'm gonna create my own shop,
Yeah.
my own John Lorenz. You know? And but you know, doing that, it made me grow as a person too. And I'm like, hey, you know, end of the day, it's his shop, his call. You know, but I was
That's
like,
respect.
you know, I was like, but, you know, he told me to do it, you know, so it was a love-hate situation. And, you know, after 3 months of, man, being a barber and working by yourself is not fun.
No,
No.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
You know,
Talk about
so,
it.
you know, I'm in the house by myself with my client. I'm just like, you know, not motivated to get into something like you'd wear to the barber shop. I'm just in my shorts and flip-flops. Like, I'm just like,
Yeah.
just going downstairs and waiting for my next client all alone. That energy and the culture in the barbershop's
yeah,
important,
very
Yeah.
important. It's
you
big.
know, and it's necessary, bro. If you're even trying to have your own shop eventually by yourself, you need to go through that process of being in a shop with other barbers, other people's clientele,
Yeah,
and so on. You know, you need to build that
Conversations, yeah. Culture.
The
Yeah, you're
culture
right.
is
Yeah,
important,
you're
bro.
yeah,
You know, and that's where I say there's two different type of people. There's people that cut hair and there's barbers. You
Yeah.
know, the people that cut hair have no idea what you need to be doing to earn that clout, that name.
that barber status.
Yeah, you know, and it's like,
So how do you feel about people like out of school going into these solo salons and being by themselves in it?
I think it's kind of like you're setting up yourself to fail in a way. Some people might be successful in it in a way, but it's like I feel like you're kind of underestimating yourself. You're too prideful
Yeah.
to go work for somebody.
Oh, work with anybody.
Yeah.
So you don't have to necessarily.
Well, you know, in Vegas, you can't even open up a business a business after, if you have a license, you got to go work for somebody for like 2 years.
That's how it should be.
Yeah.
I think you need to be around other creatives.
Mm-hmm.
And one, it builds up your people skill.
Mm-hmm.
And two, it's just better for even the clients, you know?
Well, you go through
I
situations that
think
you got
that's
to.
cool, but I think it is more or less. It depends on the person too. Some people can just handle it right out the gate.
Yeah, you're 100%, and that's that where I'm saying like it works for some people, but most, I don't think it's gonna pan out the right way. And that's the thing with our industry, bro. A lot of people, you know, clients will come and get haircuts. They see everybody having a good time, chopping it up, you know, laughing. They're like, man, this seems like a dope career.
Right.
Yeah,
I could probably cut some hair too.
Right.
Right.
You know, let me get up in school and get my degree real quick.
Right.
And they think just because they went through school and got a license, they think they're master barbers.
Yeah, the barbers, yeah.
It's like, no, bro, it don't work like that. You know, I've been cutting for 16 years. And so it's like, I'm still learning every day.
yeah.
You know, I don't ever want to consider myself a master barber. I want to learn every day. Even if from people, if I know that I can't learn something, I want to learn why are you thinking like that so I don't think like that.
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it's a lot of trial and error, you know? So it's like, you gotta go through the motion of the ocean to get where you want to, you know, land. And it's like, and I had to learn that too. You know, I've been through my stages of too prideful, you know, selfish.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I'm still growing as a human, and that's in the industry. That's what's important, is growing as a person, as an individual,
Yeah.
you know?
And that's what's hard when you're by yourself because you don't have other people to bounce ideas off of.
Yeah.
So if
Right.
you're not in the shop, you know what I mean?
Right.
You're like, dang, I'm here solitary. Yeah, you might be making great money because I see some people, I know they clean up. I would imagine.
They
clean it up.
clean up, but also, them solo salons are not cheap.
No, that's
Hell
another
no.
thing. I know.
They
but-
try to get me.
Right. They be
Yeah.
taxing, but you can combat that with the pricing, and
Right.
you ain't got to worry about this dude undercutting you right next to you.
Right, but it's also, I feel like there's just not enough structure because then it allows you to be like, oh, I'll be here from 11 to 2.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
it's just,
Yeah.
okay, it works for you, but how long is it going to work for you?
And there's so many rules. Like, you
Yeah.
can't put no advertisement on the outside window.
Right.
It's like
right.
real.
No, that's
Yeah, they tried to get me, and then I went across the street, and that was actually when I was trying to open up my first spot. I went to the solar salon just because my dad was like, "Oh yeah, they got these over here," and I'm like, "I'm not doing that." And he's like, "Just go check them out." So I was like, "Check them out." And they're like $250 a month, or maybe even a little more, or a week.
a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little more.
And that was back then, probably. It's
I
probably more
heard
now. I
today
heard way more.
it's 500 a week.
Yeah,
Ugh.
a week.
A week.
Jesus,
Yeah.
that's crucial.
The luxury of being solo.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
Not a national. They're making that a luxury. Like,
They're getting their money, though.
Yeah.
They are. And they're popping up, popping up everywhere.
Everywhere.
Francis,
Everywhere.
Yeah, every major city.
Yeah, they're all across the nation.
Yeah. But how do you also feel about barber licenses and stuff? Because I think here in Washington, we just found out a few weeks ago that as a barber, you can add going to back to school to just do the coloring.
Oh, hair design.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So are you asking
Wait,
how?
say that again? You could do that? Wait, what'd you-
Yeah, with just your barber's license, if you want to start coloring hair.
Yeah, it's just coloring classes,
Like-
not
like a certificate.
facials.
Yeah.
nails.
Yeah.
That's like full Cosmo. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
focus
yeah.
and
So
all.
you go back for hair. It's hair
Hair
design.
design, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
So are you asking like how do I feel about
Yeah.
people being licensed or going back and
Going back,
elevating?
yeah. All of that.
Yeah, man. The more you have under your belt, the better. You know, and I think you might not get much further with career wise, but like it looks better, and you're learning more. You know, and you might make some more money.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
think it opens up more opportunities.
More opportunities. You know, so it's like, why not?
Do you know if they, with the hair design, if they do go in depth with color, how they do in Cosmo?
I don't think school goes in too far much depth with anything really.
Right.
I mean,
I didn't get.
I think with color, it's a little. I mean, I'm Cosmo and Barber,
Yeah.
but I went to GRS and they went very much into.
But yeah, they're probably a little different.
Yeah, and when I heard about the hair design program, I was kind of iffy about it because of how much goes into coloring.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not something anyone should just be able to do.
Yeah. No, I feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so you're more talking about like being a barber and just going into that,
Yeah.
like a easy route out.
Easy route out, and
Yeah.
also like, do you know how to fix something when it goes
Right.
wrong? Do you know the difference between off scalp bleach and on scalp bleach?
Yeah.
You
So
know.
I definitely feel like if you're going to do that, you need to expand your learning
Right.
outside of that. Because you're right, there is a lot of science that goes into coloring
Mm-hmm.
and all that. You know, I don't do much color myself just because, excuse me, one, we don't have shampoo bowls. We just got it finally. And two, I ain't trying to mess up somebody's head.
Right.
But I know I could be dope because I paint. So like colors and all that stuff, I could be dope with it.
Is it because you out of practice? You think? Why would
Yeah.
you think? Why would you? Okay, because you
Out of practice.
Yeah,
When I was in school, bro, I was
you
getting
doing it all the time.
I was doing some dope
Yeah.
stuff. I was doing balayages,
Yeah.
ombres, all that stuff. So, and I was feeling comfortable. I was doing roller sets. I had this one lady coming in every Tuesday, bro, just to see me. I was like, hell yeah, this is dope. But yeah, I get what you're saying, and I think, but end of the day, it's like you just gotta, if you really want to learn, you got to jump in somehow.
Right. Right.
You got to jump in somehow.
But it's also easier when you do have someone else in the shop with you.
Oh
to
yeah, learning.
bounce ideas off.
Yeah,
of,
for sure.
especially when it comes to color.
You can learn.
Really?
Oh yeah,
It-
because you have to know the color wheel
Yeah,
and then you have to also ask the clients like you have to do a very good consultation because sometimes clients will lie to you about when they got their hair color last, and if they try to tell you it's virgin, they didn't color their hair, and then you go in with what you think you're formulating, and it turns out different.
yeah,
You have to know how to correct that.
yeah. Or even color testing the color.
The strips,
yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta test the like get a piece of their hair and test
Yeah.
the color on it.
and see if it can even take it.
Yeah, people's skin might break out. They might be allergic. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Scalp might be sensitive
Yeah.
all of
to
that.
the chemicals.
That licensing is difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have to also understand these different color products and stuff. So
And to talk about that, I'm going to talk about the testing.
yeah,
I failed that thing 8 times or 7
what-
times.
Barber test or
Cosmo.
Cosmo,
Well, Cosmo
really?
test is probably harder.
Yeah.
Oh,
A lot
yeah.
harder.
Yeah, I
Why
failed.
you said like that, miss?
No, because
How many times you?
She's like,
me,
yeah, I'm glad
I
you
failed
know.
it twice.
Oh, you failed twice. Okay.
I failed it twice, but it is hard because they, it's hair, skin, and nails that we're getting tested on,
Yeah.
and it's like barbering. It's they want to know all the science stuff, you
That's
know,
not-
the terminology,
bacteriology.
yeah, all of that,
yeah,
and then the test was one thing, but the practical was a whole nother thing, and then they watch you like applying color
yeah.
relaxers.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
Yeah, and
that relaxer probably stinks too.
yeah. Well, we did it with cholesterol, but
Yeah.
it's just it's a long time. It's not like the barber test,
I never even thought about that. Like,
and then
if
with
I
the
had
nails,
way more
How
to go
long
through,
was
like,
I
never
forgot?
thought
How
about
long
that.
is that practical?
like I
An
think
hour and a half?
An hour and a half because it's also we getting tested on nail, like doing manicures and pedicures and doing esthetician stuff.
And so you gotta flip the script. You gotta sanitize
Yeah.
everything and
Yeah.
bring your whole. Your kit probably looked crazy.
Yeah,
It was
it's
a
crazy.
big kit.
It's huge.
Yeah.
I thought I was just bad because you had that big ass
No.
plastic box, throw it on the table.
No, we had to do like facials and make sure we use effleurage.
You have to do
on a
too?
mannequin.
Yep.
It's a lot.
There's people that bring live people to this stuff.
No.
No,
It's
you-
a
Oh, you
mannequin.
can't do that?
No, it's. I mean, I don't know about now, but when I did it, it was a mannequin. Everything was mannequin hand too for nails. That was hard.
That thing would be falling out the
Oh my
top heavy.
gosh, that is annoying.
But that's the crazy thing is when I was taking that test, I failed every test by 1 point.
Yeah.
So it was like I was missing like 1 or 2 questions. I was getting a 74 each time. It's $200. So I went to Rod and I was like, man, like, and this was at the time they were switching the company.
Yes, because they were the first company when
Mm-hmm.
I was, and then they switched out of that company and then went back to them.
Yeah. So,
DL Roop.
Yep.
Yo.
And so I was like, dude, I'm right there, like on passing this test. Is it going to be a different test? He's like, no, it's going to be the same test. Went and took the test. I'm like, oh my God, bro. This is all nails questions.
Yeah.
Now, I thought I was taking an esthetician test. And I was like, I failed. Like I knew
You're
I
talking about the written part or the actual?
The written.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I failed the written 7 times. The 8th time I passed it. So the first time that I did pass it, it was a change. When I thought I failed, I went to Rod. I was like, bro, like
doing a lot.
I need to do something because I'm almost $1,600 into this.
Yeah.
I don't got the money. I'm on the edge of like being done. Like I need to figure something. He's like, just don't worry about it. Just have good faith. I feel like this guy called them and was like, yo, just pass this dude. Like literally, bro. Like, bro, like this test, this one, I was like, I for sure failed.
Yeah.
And it was a whole different test. And I got my results and I got a 76.
Nice.
I was like, holy shit. I started crying. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That was,
It's frustrating.
yeah, that shit was.
And I don't know when you took it, but when I took it, you had to pass the practical before taking the written.
Mm-hmm.
So
that was me. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was us too, yeah.
so now it doesn't even matter. You can just do one
either
or the
or.
other. Yeah.
You had to pass the practical.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I know they charge you for both.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if you pass the practical, you still got to pay for
Yes.
both. If you still got to keep taking the written. But back when I was doing it, it was just they were individualized.
I killed the practical shit, man. I got a 78 or 98.
First time, just
Yeah.
yeah.
I remember I was the last one. Like, you can't even look at the people next to you, right?
Right.
And I'm painting the nails, and the lady, she walks past me, and I could feel everybody be done with the nails already. The lady walked past me, and she steps back and, like, looks at her, and she's like, I was like, yeah, you like that form, huh? I was getting nice. I was real, real good at it. So that was good times, man. Damn, time flies.
It does. It does. I think there was also controversy with DL Roop because they couldn't prove it, but they felt like a lot of from like the GMRS and the big schools, a lot of the students were failing,
Yeah.
and they thought it was because of
The schools.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, and shout out to everybody who does go through the school and gets their license, bro. You know, and sticks with it. I've seen so many people just drop off and, you know, and they went through the whole school process. I'm like, what'd you do that? You just wasted your whole time, bro.
Right.
Like, if you're at least going to go through school and pay for it, get the license even if you don't cut hair.
I seen
Right.
a lot of people do it too. Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yep.
It's like, bro, like, what are you doing? You could cut hair on the side. Do 5 haircuts a week.
It
Or they-
doesn't hurt to collect licenses.
Hell no. It looks good.
Or they get in and then they don't have the patience, right? They think they're gonna come in and be booked out and have this fruitful stuff. And it's like, what do you know what I mean? Like, what you thought it was just gonna be handed over to you? So it's like no grit, no grind.
No.
And so, and I see that a lot of people do that. We've seen some people that go to other stuff.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be a computer programmer now, or I'm gonna do this.
it's just
like,
it's funny to me. I mean, I get it if it's like a stepping stone, right? But don't you're short selling yourself.
Yeah.
You know, by not having enough patience or seeing it further out. You
Yeah.
know, you're not gonna. No matter where you go, even if you have even medical degree, right? You have to start off with residency, and then after residency, you have to do other programs because you're not just gonna automatically become the doctor.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem. Everybody wants to be rich, but they don't want to fall in love with stacking their bricks. You
Right.
know, it's like you got to fall in love with that process
Right, right,
in order to enjoy the end result.
right.
You know, and that's everybody wants that free handout, man. I don't relate to that shit. And
Yeah.
or do I like it? You
Do
know,
you see that in your shop, or have you seen it in the shops that you've worked at?
I'm on new barbers.
Yeah,
Oh man, I'm on their head.
yeah,
Yeah, the owners sometimes say like I scare them away, but it's not like I'm like brutal on them. I'm just like I expect more. Like I want to be around great barbers. Mm-hmm. And in order for me to do that, and nobody's a great barber, I got to create that. Mm-hmm. You know, as a leader. But it's like, hey, it's no hard feelings. Like, bro, you could be doing a lot more.
right.
You know, like. And like you said, these barbers want to come in and think it's just a handout. No, get out on the street if you need to, you know. But the crazy thing is you got it all right here.
Yeah,
You know, you're over here posting on your social media, your new J's. Do a haircut and post that on your social media.
I was just about to ask you to add to that. Like, what do you think most barbers coming out of school are looking for in a barbershop? Like, what do you?
Walk-ins, clientele. You know, they want
So they want the easy.
they want the $50 haircuts,
oh my God.
but don't even know how to cut hair.
without the skill set.
Yeah,
And so, like, for you, it wasn't that.
no.
And that dude, Eric, coming to you like that, it was like, oh, I know I'm gonna grow here.
Well, you know, I think I built a name for myself just out of my house, but I knew I had a longer road to get to, and I know that there's a lot more growth. So I think with me is I knew that the progress was going to weigh out in the long run than right away, you know. And so I think it meant a lot for like an owner of a barbershop to come to me. Mm-hmm. Bro, I had a portfolio of books,
Hell yeah,
3
that's
books
huge.
of my photos. And I went to probably over 50 salons and barbershops knowing that I was going to work there just to show them my work right after graduating.
Knowing you wasn't gonna work
Yeah.
there? Oh, okay. Kind
I was like, hey, they're going to know who I am though. You know what I mean? I'm like, hey, check out my Instagram. This is what I do, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, there was a kind of like a strategy behind the way I was moving, you know, because I knew from the get-go, I was like, I'm about to build the image. I'm going to build a brand. I'm going to build my face in this industry. And I want to teach. I want to inspire. I want to create. I want to, you know, sell my merch. I want to travel. And so like I went around it in a way that I was like, hey, even though I'm not going to work for you, you're going to know about me somehow. And I'd rather shake your hand and, you know, meet you face to face before, you know, this all happens.
That's fire, man. That's dope.
So
I
how
was
do
gonna
how-
ask, can you tell in the barbershop when someone has gone to a bigger name school versus just a barber college that
Doesn't
isn't
have a
as
big name.
structured.
Doesn't have a big name. Jim Moret's got a big name, and they're
And
like
they're diminishing.
they're highly competitive.
Yeah.
In as far as detail in regards to schools,
Yeah.
they used to be like the uppity. Like,
I can, but I also think it's also in the person.
Yeah.
How bad they want it.
Yeah.
You know how like work ethic, bro. It's so rare to find good work ethic now, especially with COVID, bro. Everybody wants to sit at home and work from home.
And that's with
I
everything.
never seen as much of that. I swear, a lot more people used to work way harder
crazy.
before COVID.
Yeah, because in a way, I'm not in a way. COVID made it easier for everyone in every single industry. People don't want to go back to the offices.
Wow.
And they rather work from home because it's so much more convenient and they can be around their kids and whatever.
I think COVID showed people that there's another way to survive.
Well, that's the thing. If you weren't hustling, it's just not in you.
Yeah.
If you didn't have that, and COVID to me put me back in my natural habitat. When I first started, I was working out of the house. Mm-hmm. So it put me back in the house. And I was like, okay, well, shit, back to square one.
Yeah.
What do? I start painting more, start pushing my brand a little more. I literally didn't
You
cut.
say paint like art? Like you
Paint art, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I was pushing that and I had a lot of support, bro. Like shout out to my support system because, man, that time, bro.
So you
My
like
baby mama took me back to court.
Oh, yeah.
I had 50-50 custody for a year and a half. She took me back to court for more money and got back support 7 months when I had 50-50. So I got my check from unemployment. Mm-hmm. So I had to pay that all to my baby mama because I couldn't get on the Zoom. I couldn't get on the Zoom meeting. So I lost.
Oh, for the forecourt? Yeah.
Yeah, so I couldn't
Real
get on
court.
that. And so, bro, it was just like, but bro, like honestly, like I love that shit, bro, because it's like, the people try to break you down so much. And it's just like that layer that you got to bust through, like to be unstoppable. Like, listen, man, once you hit rock bottom, there ain't nowhere to go but up.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you just start to realize, like, listen, either this shit makes me or breaks me.
Yeah.
So COVID, like I said, I was in my natural habitat. I was still hustling. I wasn't making the money I was making, but, I was still grinding. I was still making money.
You're in a shop where you pay booth rent. Mm-hmm. What do you like it that way? Do you feel like you maximize? Because some people had that comfort of doing commission.
Commission, yeah.
What do you? Have you ever talked to anybody who does that, or did they ever try to sell it to you like, "Oh man, this is how we do it"? And
Yeah.
how do you feel about like? Would you, if you ran your shop, how would you run it, and how would you do it?
The commission is smart. Like that's like the owner's hustle, and but it's also like puts a limit on the barbers, bro. I feel like booth rent is good because it's like, hey, the more you hear, the more money you're gonna get, and that's on you. So it's like either you want to be here or you don't. End of the day, I just need my booth rent money to keep my bills, the shop running, and so and it gives them the freedom. It gives the barbers the freedom. If I want to take off 3 months, I don't need to say nothing. I just need to book myself out. All right, I'm dipping out for 3 months. I'm good,
Right.
And that's the thing. That's the dope thing about having booth rent is you are your own boss,
Right.
But with that, it comes in having a business, having the license, taking care of your taxes,
Insurance.
promoting yourself, marketing yourself, having your own clientele. A lot of these barbers coming in, they're like, okay, yeah, I'm going to go to chop it up, so I expect walk-ins. No, it don't work like that. You need to have at least, it should be 70%, at least 70% on you, 25% on the shop. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem with this industry. It's getting too watered down with all these people coming in and thinking that this shit's going to be free.
I call it. I used to play basketball when I was younger. I call it basket hanging.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if we playing 21, you just sitting at the basket waiting for the walk-ins to come in, and then you just
Yeah.
get the rebound and put up 2 points. Like that's greasy. Like come on, man. Trade picking, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But you know, you got to go out there. You got to put yourself out there. I like your approach to it. The digital approach. It's dope.
Yeah. And that's the thing is we see through all that, you know, and clients see through that too. Me personally, bro, I hardly sit down in the barbershop. If I'm not cutting ahead, I'm behind my chair standing up because I don't want a client coming in looking at me and I'm sitting down in the chair like slouching.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I stand behind my work. I'm like, I'm all in, bro. And I don't like sitting down at work. I get lazy. I'd rather cut all day, not even eat.
Me too. That's me. Well, we
know what
just
I mean?
talked about that last week.
Like I'm grinding in there. I got to get my money.
Well,
You know, I make quota and everything for myself. I set goals, you know. So, but you know, that's just how I work. My dad, man, he's inspired me from a young age. Like he hustles. I've never met anybody who works harder than my dad, ever, to this day. 18-hour days. Like,
and that's hard work because it's iron work. You said,
yeah, ironworking, construction, like
hard work right there.
yeah. Then he comes home and goes to karate with my sister, and he does karate and all this stuff, and you know, it's like it's just inspiring to me, and I'm like very grateful to grow up and be able to see that, you know.
So what do you think about shop hopping and the turnover rate?
It's just like homie hopping, man. A little slewy.
Jump offs.
A little sleazy.
You know, it's a bad look, bro. It's a bad look.
Yo, that takes me back to like 08. She's a Slytherin.
Yeah,
Like, she's
just
a
homie
Slytherin.
hopper, bro.
Oh, my
I mean, so is he.
Yeah.
here you go.
It works both ways.
Yeah. No, man, it's just a bad look, bro. If you can't, you know,
Be committed.
be committed.
It's about commitment, man.
Is it about commitment or is it about someone that's really wanting, like, loves it so much that they want to explore different
It could be that
avenues?
too.
I
Could
don't.
be
Yeah,
that
I don't
too.
think there's nothing wrong with, you know. But man, I've seen people go to a shop for 2-3 months, get that free 2-3 months
Yeah.
booth rent.
Oh, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
is it
Oh,
free
my
though?
God.
Not, I mean, like cheaper, reduced rent, whatever it is.
because it staggers every week.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden they're at a different shop.
Message
Yeah.
to the shop owners.
Yeah.
You know, be
Look
careful.
out
Careful
for
with
that.
that.
You know,
I think now it's even easier to even find out about these barbers because they do use social media, so you can see
Yeah.
like
Shops there like
what
that.
they done, where they've been. If you know, if
Yeah.
they're smart, they won't post it.
Yeah.
But some of them have egos; they won't be smart. So
I think that's what I'm gonna do when I open up my own shop is have like a contract, like, hey, if you're gonna start working here, I need you at least for like a year, you know, and then after that, you don't need no contract. But like, if I'm gonna reduce the rent for you,
yeah,
or like, you know,
A
what I mean?
commitment,
Yeah,
yeah.
especially, you know, teach you and give you my free game.
yeah,
You know what I mean? It's like that's important, bro. Like I've learned that, you know, I love inspiring and giving free game out to people, but not everybody deserves that.
Yeah.
Because they take advantage.
You can kind of see the red flags a little bit.
100%.
And then, like, when they come, they don't really, like, they're not bringing their own clientele.
Yeah.
Like, usually when you go somewhere different, if you're a known barber or even an up-and-coming barber, you still got some sort of clientele following you somewhere.
Right. And I think that's the thing, bro, is even if you're not cutting hair, just be at the shop.
Yeah.
Just stay around. Sweep up. You know? Post something on your social media. Hey, who wants a cheaper haircut today? I got openings. Come in. Who wants a free haircut? I still do some free haircuts every once in a while. You know what I mean?
That's good for promotion.
Yeah, I don't feel too good to do any of that. Like, I'm serious. Like this. So I'm dead ass. Like,
no,
so
I'm with you. I mean,
I
I
really
charge family, so I'm with you.
Yeah.
I really don't feel too good to do that though. Like, I'm cool to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not tripping on that.
No,
stuff.
yeah.
We did a half anniversary last year. I did a half anniversary for a shop.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do it for. I was like, anybody who comes in this day, you get all day. You just get a free cut. And so like everybody who came in, they were like, they didn't even know. They booked their appointment. They're ready to pay. They're like, oh no, your haircut's free. They're like, what are you talking about? So some of them didn't see it on Instagram, but then there was people that did see it and they
Yeah.
booked. So like I did it like 3 weeks ahead just to see if people actually go in the calendar and book that day, and they did.
Right.
It's kind of cool.
I don't know how I feel about day. I'd rather do that on a day that I'm off, not on a like a Sunday or something. You know, like how we've done.
Not
the
on a
chair-
day that you count.
Yeah, not on a day that I'm counting.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But
Tax
also-
write-off though.
Or what I do is on Veterans Day, when veterans do come in without them knowing, I'm like, it's free for you.
Yeah.
But
You're not promoting.
I'm just saying, like,
I'm not promoting.
It could be for you though, like you know what
I know
like,
it's
just to
for
give
me,
back. You
but
know?
then, like, even I've been approached by people that are doing charity events and asking, "Hey, can we count on you to throw in like haircuts for this auction?" I'm like, "You can count on me. I don't know about the rest of the
Yeah.
shop,
Yeah.
but you can.
Yeah.
Here's my name
Yeah.
and here's my information, but I'm not going to speak for the rest of the
Yeah.
shop
Right.
or shops.
Yeah.
Period.
And trust me, it's not like
Yeah.
I'm out there doing free cuts all the time.
No.
I try, I try to show a little bit of love every once
Yeah,
in a
you
while.
got to give back a little bit.
And, especially my clients that come show up to compete or be my models on competitions.
Or like my clients that have been there from the beginning, I don't raise the prices on them.
Right.
See, I'm just trying to buy tickets to heaven. That's all.
Yo, you get the Jake Paul. I gotta ask you, bro, because
You do look like Jake Paul.
you get that JP, bro.
He looks like me. No,
Bro, you too famous, man.
Every day, bro.
Every day.
It start. You know what? It really started in when he fought not Nate Diaz. Nate Robinson.
Nate Robinson.
I was in New Orleans, and man, like 3 hours before the fight, I was on not Broadway, but Bourbon Street or whatever,
Street, yeah.
and we're pulling up in the SUV truck with all my homies, and they're all in the balcony. Jake Paul, and people are like, "Fuck you, Jake Paul." I'm like, "Oh shit, this could be bad." And like, this is like when it first started really happening. And then I'm getting out on the street, and this is when I knew it was out of line. This girl comes walking up to me crying. She's like, "I can't believe you're even here. You got to fight in 3 hours." And I had long sleeves on, so they didn't see my tats. I'm like, "What are you talking about? You're supposed to be fighting Nate Robinson in 3 hours." I'm like, this is crazy. Went to the club after, and all of a sudden, I walk in, DJ like, "Jake Paul's in the house." I'm like, ever since then, every day.
That's crazy.
Every day.
You gonna cut your hair?
Shit, man, he needs a sponsor me, bro. I'm keeping his name alive. He needs to sponsor me.
You making him look good by being nice.
It would be, yeah, exactly. It would be funny to meet him though.
You should entourage up and walk downtown Seattle.
See what he would say. He'd probably trip out, like, "What the hell?
Yeah.
This is,
Yeah, that's dope. I wanted to talk about. So you got a podcast. Mm-hmm. How's that going for you, man? You wanna
Yeah,
talk
so-
a
What
bit
kind of
about that?
podcast?
So it's called Mouthpiece MC.
Mouthpiece MC.
Yep, our host is Manny, my boy Manny. I'm the co-host. Right now, we're just going through the motion, bro, figuring it out. Pretty much, Mouthpiece is like your game.
Oh, I think you said mouthpiece. My bad.
No,
Yeah,
Mouthpiece.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, Mouthpiece.
yeah. Got you.
So it's like, what's your game? What free game can you give to the audience, and motivation or inspiration?
Okay.
So we're still trying to figure out tweaking and everything with that, and it's been fun, bro. It's like, I love being on camera. I think it helps with my performance of talking.
Right.
Growing up, I was in special needs, bro. I always had a learning disability,
Okay.
so I was bad at speaking, communicating, reading, and so it helps me
Just
with that.
grew out of all of that. That's,
Well, I mean, I still have stage fright and
Okay.
stutter once in a while, and it's but I like growing and watching myself grow through the process of being on camera, and I've always wanted to be somebody from a young age, like doing dancing or artists or whatever, and inspiring people and talking to people and being able to relate to people. that been in that, you know, been in special needs that, you know, feel like they're not important or as smart. And however, you know,
That's fire.
So what's your musical background? What did that entail?
again, bro, I think you know, I don't do music because I think I'm dope at it. I really enjoy music overall, but it's kind of retraining my brain on reading and writing, and that's really where I enjoy doing music, you know. And it's been back when I was 20 years old. I started a company called Forever Green Entertainment, and I had some artists, and like we're actually kind of getting a little buzz. My boy Davon Spriggs, you know, that boy was killing it. And then we met up with my guy Milo Eubank. They created a little band called MDH, Modern Day Hippies. And I was kind of like the P. Diddy of the group, like just micromanaging.
Take that.
You know,
Bad boy.
you know, like kind of micromanaging, you know, trying to get the gigs lined up. And bro, we had no formula, recipe, what the hell we're doing. We're like, man, we're just a bunch of friends that have talent, so let's try to create something out of it.
Yeah, I was trying to cook up something.
Yeah, you know, so I was always doing videos back then. I was filming. Everybody would get like, why are you always filming? I'm like, why aren't you filming?
Right.
My life's a documentary. It's a movie,
Yeah.
you know? And, you know, and we end up all splitting up our ways, and we're still all good friends, but, you know, everybody does their own thing. And I was like, man, I put too much damn work into everything that I've created.
To just let it walk by.
Let it walk by, man. You know, even if you know, people don't listen to my stuff, like I love creating, bro.
So right now, basically, you solo dolo as far as on a musical.
Yeah.
thing.
I got one of my homies still from back then that I create music, Lotus Jackson.
You still writing? You still spitting? You still doing a little bit of all that? Or what?
Yeah, so I got my own studio at my house, but I work with my boy Binks, and that boy's a monster, bro. He's one of the most artistic
I think I heard of Binks.
musician I've ever met personally, and he's been a good, amazing mentor to me, and I love working with him, bro. Love working with him because he gets me out of my box, and that boy can spit, he can sing, he engineers, he can make beats. So I'm like, man, it's dope that you're so talented in this craft. You're willing to work with an upcoming artist like me.
Is he in Linwood?
He's in Linwood now. But Bothell, Mill Creek, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's talented, bro. And he's built a lane for himself out here. He moved away for a little bit and came back, but
Did he go to Arizona?
He went to Arizona for a little.
That's
yeah.
Binks. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he's
nice, man. He's nice.
no, he's talented, bro.
Yeah, very talented.
And I look at this guy, I'm like, bro, how do you just come up with this type of shit, like just right off the top? He's like, this is my job, bro.
That's what I do.
Yeah. He's inspirational, man.
Yeah, so the music thing is like, you know, I don't plan on being a rapper, bro. I just love creating. If something happens with it, dope.
Therapeutic to you or something?
Yeah, like I said, it kind of retrains my brain.
It's personal.
Yeah, you know, so it's like if you want to listen to it, dope. I appreciate it. If you don't, then whatever. Let me still create, you know. Let me do my thing, you know.
Let me do my thing.
But I just, you know, I put a lot of money into everything I do, man. It takes a lot of money.
It does. I got a lot invested too. I got a home studio.
There you go.
I record. I make beats and stuff too.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
You know.
When you got the time to do it without distractions.
Yeah.
It's hard to be creative when you got a lot going on in the household.
Right.
Or a lot on your mind for work and stuff like that.
I love how barbering or, you know, this industry allows us to pivot, right? So we're able to sit here and be on this platform, right? But we all have other things. So like, you know, when they try to box us in and be like, oh, that's Meek, he's the barber. That's Aaron Davis, he's the barber. It's like, no, I'm an artist. I'm multifaceted. Swiss Army thing.
I noticed that more. I noticed barbers are more along the lines of artists. Mm-hmm. So they have other artist attributes.
Yeah.
You know.
There's a barbershop episode on, I know y'all don't really like the show, but Blackish, there's a barbershop episode on there. It's like, every barber in there is a barber, but don't you dare just call them a barber.
Yeah.
Just a barber. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
Entrepreneurs, artists.
Everything, so.
Yeah, artists.
My favorite question always is that it? Is that all you do?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, yes. And I collect dust. Yes.
There you go. No, and I think that's I'm blessed, bro, because I look at other musicians, artists, and that's like what they're really trying to make. They don't got another job. That's what their
Passion.
job is, and like, you know, some struggle, starving artists, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I got a career. I don't need to be
Yeah.
a rapper. I'm not trying out here to be a rapper. I'm just creating music, bro. I love sound, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I love music. Like, I'm always listening to music, you know, diversity of music too. So
Who's your favorite artist right now, besides yourself?
I listen to a lot of upcoming artists.
Okay.
I think I bump a lot of Young and Fly. Shout out to him. Actually, I got a song with him we're about to put out. I'm actually gonna fly to Miami and shoot a music video with him. And he's dope. And I just reached out to him one time, like, yo, man, how do I get a song with you? He's like, bro, $250.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, that's it? Mm-hmm. I sent him $325. I'm like, here's a little extra dough. He's like, hell, I'm gonna send you a couple more beats. And he's just real, you know. He's like able to chop it up with them.
Local guy?
No, he's from Jersey, but he's in Miami now.
Okay.
Yeah, Young and Fly. And you know, me personally, I've done shows with artists, like bring artists out, and it's hard to get that connection, that contact. And so for a bigger artist to be able to just chop it up with and have that ground with, it means a lot, you know. It just shows genuine people. But yeah, Young and Fly. There's this other guy that I've learned through Young and Fly, T. Ill Dude, Frank Have Mercy. He's like R&B singer. I'm trying to think some local cats. So, you know, Anthony Danza. He's nice.
Tony Danza?
Anthony. You know, Rasimone. You know, shout out to him. Binks.
Binks is filthy.
So yeah.
You know, my homegirl Kills. She's nice.
Vocally?
Yeah.
That's
Well,
right.
no, she raps.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Davon Spriggs. You know, there's a lot of good artists out here, bro.
Yeah.
I just wish they pushed harder.
Yeah.
You know.
I find that they're not as extremely passionate about their craft as need be to get that extra push. I think they're more just looking at it as kind of like on a hobby.
You talking about Northwest, period? Or you talking about?
Yeah, kind of like,
think
you know,
it's-
because I know cats that's been in the game out here for like 10, 15 years, and it's like they're not making no noise.
It's mad
and
expensive to be. It's mad expensive to live out
It's
here.
hard to shine under gray clouds, bro.
It's mad expensive to be.
You know. But you know, that's the thing is I say if you go in on something, just never give up, bro.
Yeah.
You know, even if you end up on your deathbed like not getting nowhere with it, it's just like, hey, at least you tried. You know, at least you tried, you know.
You won't know until you do try.
Yeah, you know, and that's the thing with a lot of artists out here. They want it overnight. It's
Yeah,
like, yo, you're a dope artist, but there's thousands of other yous that are even better and pushing their work.
Facts.
Right.
It ain't even about the music anymore. It's the image.
Exactly.
Right.
The
You know,
quality is not great.
sell yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, You're
That
not-
goes back to barbering. It's like the
It's your
same.
image.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's your image and it's your commitment. It's your consistency.
Exactly.
It's your
Persistence.
yeah. It's all of that.
Yeah.
And you can't just expect it to just fall into your lap.
And it don't. You got to put in that work. You got to
Right.
grind.
And even when you do that work, it doesn't fall into your lap. It's just everything lines up and opens up for
Exactly.
you.
Yeah, it's time.
Well, it's like if you don't believe in yourself, who will?
Right.
You got to paint that picture, and that's what I learned. You know, it's like, yeah, I was so. For a long time, man, I had a chip on my shoulder because I was like, damn, I'm doing all this work, and you know, I'm not getting the support I need. There's supporters there.
How many followers you got on?
I'm almost at 15K.
15K.
Yeah. And no fake follower and bullshit. Like,
Oh yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. No fake followers. No what?
I mean,
purchase?
they expose people.
No purchase followers.
yeah, no, I've never
No
purchased no
purchase.
No,
followers.
I'm saying I think IG exposed people. I think when they did like one of the system updates or something, where some of these people suddenly lost
Damn.
a lot of people, and
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and some of these influencers got exposed. That
You know, the thing is, do whatever you need to do.
yeah,
But don't
Fake it till you
be
make it. Nah, that's,
fake it till you make it, but be organic, bro.
Right.
Don't act like you're some celebrity that you're not.
yeah.
You know, like, I know cats like, oh, they get the followers and they think they're like some like celebrity. It's like,
Well, they don't
bro,
know what to do with it once. It's one thing to invest in getting the followers, but once you get the followers, you got to know how to cross over.
well, that's the thing, that it's all ghost followers. It's not even real people.
Right, but
And
well, they have promotion stuff where like you can pay, you
don't know
pay
why
for
people would
people
do
to
that.
promote on your page.
Right. Oh,
right? And
go
then they
market
get the
yourself.
numbers. So some of them have real followers, but they're not super genuine.
Right.
But once you get the followers, then you got to know how to use it to cross over, to maximize off of the numbers.
Yeah.
But you're
it's
there.
a game.
You got the merch. You got the 15K in followers. You're pushing all that. You
Yeah.
pushing your music. You're pushing your obviously your haircuts, and you're reaping the benefits of that, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Are
I've
you
met.
paying for the blue check though?
I don't need no blue check to get respect.
That's only on Twitter.
Yeah, no, you can pay for your blue
On
check
IG?
now.
IG, yeah.
Really?
You can pay for
$14 a month.
it. See,
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, that's,
Like I said, I don't need no blue check to get
I'm
respect.
on. I'm like the dude
that's
on the
some
Drake
corny
album.
shit.
I'm on. You see the Eiffel Tower? I'm on.
Yeah,
I'm on.
it's
People eat
That's
for that.
crazy. $14
It's a game. It's a game.
it's bro.
it takes away the star.
Yeah, the exclusiveness of it.
It's
If I can do it with my 200 low
Yeah.
followers, like who am I?
yeah.
yeah.
It's all like I said, bro. Everything gets watered down. There's no organic. There's no being unique anymore.
If you're organic and you get your numbers way up, they start messing with you. Like, you know what I'm saying? They start picking on like the platform itself, like IG, Facebook. Once you
YouTube.
get so far and you making moves, then they start going out of their way to block you or do certain stuff to sabotage what you got going on.
That's part of the game, though.
I forget what it's called, ghost blocking or something like that. They're like, I don't know.
I mean, that's
shadow block, shadow
Shadow
block.
banning.
Shadow
Yeah,
banning.
yeah,
Shadow
shadow banning, yeah.
you know, that's a different caliber. that's
Yeah, you got
Andrew
different
Tate
numbers, yeah.
That's Andrew Tate numbers right there.
Yeah.
You know, but end of the day, bro. You know, say if I was to overnight go viral. Say if this shit goes viral, I'm not gonna go put $14 to get a blue check.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
Because you're going to have to follow it up with another viral moment.
Well, it's like everybody's doing it nowadays.
live up
You know,
to it.
bro.
Yeah.
Social media is just a rat race to me, and it's just like you got to figure out what your angle is at it and what you want out of it,
Right.
and
That's the key. That's what makes it the game.
and what, yeah, bro. Because if you don't, you get in your feelings. You be like, damn, and you get envious and jealousy over other cats that are doing more than you.
Yeah, then
and
you
so you
start-
start hating on this dude, and it's
Yeah.
like, yo, just stay in your lane.
And then you start getting into the comments, reading what people
Yeah,
say.
the comments is the crazy part. Because they're going to chastise you in the
They
comments.
gonna
win.
cook
They going to
They
get
gonna-
your ass.
Yeah, they gonna serve you.
Who's this old crusty?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They gonna get. Man.
Hey, and especially, you know, me being a white boy, like that came in the game of cutting hair. I was, you
Yeah.
know, ethnic hair. Like they'd be like, "Can you cut it?" I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, I had to go through that stage of like, "Hey, I got to show them that I can cut." You know, now I got my respect.
You can't take it personal though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it wasn't ever personal. It was just like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like now I got my respect that and my portfolio on IG that hey, I don't say nothing.
Yeah.
Here's my work.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, check it out. You don't want me cutting you? Hey, it's all love.
cool, yeah.
I know somebody else who cut you up.
Yeah.
Probably just as good, not better.
Yeah.
You know, if not better.
Yeah, that's and you seem like you got good head on your shoulders in terms of that. Is there anything you want to make sure we bring up? You want to talk? Not no last words things. It's just, I just want to make sure. Is there anything you want to talk and let the people know
About
Man.
Aaron Davis.
right now?
Man.
The Barber Days.
Aaron Davis.
Sound like a DJ.
You know
drop.
what, bro? I'll tell you one thing that I get a lot, bro. A lot of people meet me and they judge me from my Instagram. Like they don't like my aura on Instagram, so they think I'm this person.
Right.
And it's like, yo, like he just thinks he's cocky, he thinks he's the shit, blah, blah, blah. And it's never been like that, bro. Like I love hard, man. I love anybody. As long as you give me respect, I'm gonna give you respect. You know, even if you don't give me respect, cool, I'm gonna keep it pushing. So a lot of people judge me from my aura off of Instagram and think I'm just like this cocky person. But it's like, end of the day, don't let my confidence offend your insecurities. You know, it's like I'm still human. I'm still willing to learn. I'm still willing to chop it up with you as a normal person. And I think like for so long, bro, I was working to get this image and this persona and this lifestyle, like being a celebrity and like hot shot. But it's like, bro, like there's so much shit that comes with that. You know what I mean? Judgmental
So
people.
it was a self-check for you. It's like, let me calm this down.
Yeah, it's like, you know, like like, bro, people reach out to me like, hey, can you help me with how can I do better on my social media? I'll take time out of my day and go like look at their stuff, like, hey, try this, do this. You know, barbers that they're taking a picture of their haircut, they got a broom in the background. I'm like, hey, move the broom.
Yeah.
You know, get a black wall, get a white, you know, like I'm always willing to help people out, bro. You know, as long as you're willing to reach out and not be too prideful, I'm all about like, hey, man, you want to do a video? Let's do a video. You know, it's nothing like.
Yeah, you got a pretty humble spirit.
And I try my best, bro, because I've been through a lot of shit that has made me cold. You know, loving too hard, and it has made me cold. But then I realize it changes my character. You know what I mean? And it's like situations are gonna happen regardless. You're gonna have you're gonna have roadblocks. You're gonna have people coming in and out of your life.
Yeah.
And you know, and that's the thing is now I move a little more with caution because I've made my life too available to everybody. And like, you know,
We gotta cut back.
you know, you gotta chill out and just cut back and, you know, take time to the family, bro. And
I was
like,
gonna say, just focus on the kids a little bit.
yeah,
maybe.
you know, it's like, bro, like I do a lot of stuff. So like I'm constantly working, bro. I've hardly sleep probably 4 or 5 hours a night if I'm lucky. You know, like I'm going through content at night. I'm going writing music, you know, putting the kids to bed or, you know, just like I'm always plotting, strategizing, trying to do something different, you know. And it's like, man, it drains you. It drains you, and you just see people take your energy and not appreciate it.
Yeah, it's a lot of energy suckers out there.
Yeah.
They would drain
Yeah,
you.
and time waste.
And-
Yeah, time wasted, and that's all we really have. All this money, all this, you know, jewelry, bullshit. It doesn't really mean nothing.
No.
It's our time that really is
That's
counted.
matters the most.
You know, and so it's like, I think I realized that in just the last few months, bro. Like I don't really hang out with as many people. I'm just like, I'm gonna do me for a little bit, at least for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm
just-
there too. I'll be having to question myself sometimes, like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're at home all the time, like just at home, just like chilling.
Yeah.
Like, man, what am I doing here? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, and it's
Especially
like,
when you used to be more outgoing and more active.
and that's the thing is like when you're in a level like doing what we do, you know, building an image. A lot of people think you start acting like that. Oh, you changed up.
Yeah.
Oh, you're different now. It's like, well, I didn't do all this shit to be the same.
Right. Supposed to evolve.
Especially when you get money. So it's like,
Yeah.
you get money, you gotta
Well, that's the thing.
switch up. You gotta switch up some of the things you're doing.
I was watching some artist, and he was like, "Oh yeah," all the homies was like, "Oh, you're different now," and it's like, "No, I'm not different. When I was broke, you weren't asking me for money. Now I got money, you're asking me for money.
Yeah.
You're different." I forgot what artist that was, but I was like, "Let's go." That's some real shit.
What kind of artwork do you do?
So I do a lot of canvas, just acrylic or spray paint.
Like scenery or
Really,
Cartoon.
anything that I try to stay away from portraits, just because like portraits are real. They're
Tedious.
tedious, and if
I love
one little
portraits.
I do too. I
Yeah.
appreciate anybody who could do them, but if one little mistake can throw it off, then it's like, okay, that doesn't even look like that person. It's real tedious work.
yeah.
And now that, you know, when I was hustling out the house, my dad would always ask me, well, how much did you charge for that? How long did you put into it? And I'm just like, man, like, does it matter? Like, who cares? I'm just trying to get money. But now I'm looking back at it and I'm like, it did matter. It does matter. And so it's like, now I hardly do as much artwork because in the amount of time that I put into that art, I could triple up my bands just from cutting hair.
Right.
And cater to my clientele. So now if I'm going to do some art for somebody, it got to be worth my time. And I can't do a lower budget than 500.
So how do you gauge your prices when you sell your work as far as, you know, canvases and stuff?
So like if it's like acrylic and like real detailed, I'll start higher. But if it's stencil work, and it depends on the size of the canvas too.
Right.
The time. And now that I've been doing it for a while, I know how to speed up my time. For a long time, I would have like 4 paintings on the table, drying. I'd work on one, let that dry, go to the next one, let that dry. I'm like sitting back. I'm like, how can I speed this up? I'm like, I'm a barber. I got a hair dryer. So I take the hair dryer.
Yeah.
Fire.
Dry. 10, 15 seconds, shit's dried.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh shit, let's go. So I don't do as much artwork that I should be doing, just because of time. You know what I mean? But I'll still dip my hands into it. And
So what's your price ranges on like personal pieces?
I tried not to do anything under 500.
Okay.
It's fire.
Yeah,
It's dope.
just
fine.
because it's not really worth my time. And if I'm going to, I'm gonna do it on what I want to paint and on my time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because you got to be in a zone for it.
Exactly.
It's not something you just.
Plus, you're giving a part of you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a part of your
Exactly.
your mental
And that-
expression, and I feel like artists should gauge that a little bit more than trying to be nice.
And that's what I was talking about, was
'Cause
making
it's going to go up.
my time too available to people.
Right.
I am gonna actually, man. I want to talk about. I got an event coming up for the Massive Monkeys. I've wanted to do an event with them for a long time. I don't know
The
if you.
Master
Who are they?
Monkeys?
Yeah, they're the break squad from Seattle. Breakdance.
Okay.
Yeah, they do the halftime shows for Sonics and went on
Okay.
America's Best Dance Crew. So I battled them back in the day when I was dancing and I always lose. So they've been a big inspiration to me, and so like I've been reaching out to them like yearly, trying to get on with the vendors.
So was you doing windmills and all of that?
A little bit, yeah,
A little bit.
yeah.
Did you do them too?
I
What?
was
Hey, come on,
Hey,
come on.
I was
Yeah, popping and locking. So
what the? Okay.
I'm excited about that because it's like, again, like manifesting, you know what I mean? And just being consistent,
When is that event?
May 27th, 28th, and 29th.
Okay.
Yeah, they're doing like the flyers and stuff for the vendors. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my brand. I'm going to do a painting. They're going to give me the vendor for free. So I'm like, man, I was going to pay for it. Because, it's a tax write-off. I ain't tripping. Like, I want to support them. So what I'm going to do for them is I'm going to do a big painting with their logo, Seattle, and maybe ask them to sign it and then let them auction it off like a raffle and then let them keep the money,
That's dope. That's dope.
just to give back and support them in a way, man. They're letting me get on for free. And so
Dope.
I'm all about supporting, bro.
Yeah.
Because I know what it's like being a starving artist.
Right.
And it's hard.
It's tough. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough.
Okay, yeah. What's your clothing brand? What's that about?
So my line is Creative Styles.
Creative style.
Yeah.
See, you got the hat on. Let's peep it.
Right
Yep.
here.
Yep.
My hat, yeah, Creative Styles. My slogans are "Let me create" and "Almost famous." What's dope is that I actually had like the slogans
Let
before.
me create, and then another one's almost famous.
Famous,
Okay.
yeah. I've had the slogans before I even had the brand, and a lot of people thought "Almost Famous" was my brand. That's actually already a brand.
Yeah, I was
it's already a
gonna say,
brand
it's
already.
okay.
Dope. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of dope.
Yeah,
Almost famous.
but it's my slogan's "Almost Famous," but it's more like the mindset of like, hey, what happens if you do get famous? And my mindset's like, you keep working like you never got famous.
Right.
What happens if you don't get famous? At least I tried.
Right.
Yep.
And end of the day, when I die, my legacy will keep living. So it's more of a motivational, and so and then I got Let Me Create. That's more of like, I had so much doubt in my life, that I was just like, man, just let me create.
Yeah.
Let me do what I need to do, and to express myself.
That's dope.
Creative Styles, actually, I really thought deep about that one, man, because I was like, everybody's like, what happens if you get a barbershop? What are you going to call it? Aaron's Barbershop? I'm like, nah, man, I want something that people, when I have barbers in there, they can stand behind it too, and it represents them. So I thought of Creative Styles. Everybody in that establishment, that shop, will have their own creative style.
Right.
That's dope. and it's not ego driven.
No, yeah.
Aaron Davis.
Yeah, exactly.
Aaron Davis.
The life.
I remember in beauty school, my instructor was like, "You never want to name your shop after you yourself."
I mean, and then
I think it's
Juarez.
the easy route.
I mean,
Well, it
it,
makes,
clearly he disagreed with.
No, I
yours,
know.
but yeah.
I know.
I think it creates a stigma too.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you name your shop after you, then you got other people up there, and you're like, man,
It's-
I work, you know.
Yeah.
It sets
Kinda
a standard, a level that you have to be on all the
Yeah.
time. Because
John Lorenz.
Not just
Yeah.
with you, but with the people that work for you. Like
Yeah, for
so
sure.
it makes
Yeah.
them not want to.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
you know.
it works for some, and it just doesn't work for
And that, you bringing up John Lorenz, I love the name. It
Yeah.
sounds
yeah, it sounds
classy.
like hello,
Yeah.
You know, and actually how he got that name is John is Eric's middle name, and then Lorenz is his wife's middle name. So I thought that was dope.
oh,
I was like, that's pretty cool. But I also learned that
I got one more thing. How long could we expect to see you have a shot, man? Like, what's it? 3, 1, 3, 5? What are we looking at?
So my goal was to at 30
30.
years, but I'm 32 is all right.
It went fast. It went fast.
You got a round personality.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So I'm
Around
looking
it.
to in the next 2 years.
In the next 2 years.
yeah.
Yeah.
In the same area, or you just
Mill Creek.
Mill
Mill Creek?
Creek.
That's what's up.
Nice.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
And any shout outs, bro?
Man, shout out to you guys.
No, thanks for coming, man. Appreciate you.
Thank
For
you.
real.
Like and subscribe.
Sorry.
Nah, man, I know, man. You trying to clear that up.
Shout out to you guys. Shout out to everybody watching.
Yeah.
To my supporters, my family.
You want to tag your brands, like
Yeah, Creative Styles.
Where can they go find your stuff?
Just on the IG, creative underscore styles underscore brand.
Yep.
Mr. You Know. Yeah.
Yes, sir. And all of
Mr.
that
You
stuff
Know,
be
man.
down there.
Mr. You Know.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Facts, man. Yo, I appreciate you, man, for coming through.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, man. for
Thank
real.
you.
Yeah, thank you.
That concludes this week's episode. Tune in next week and check us out at thebarbergame.com.